chants that I think just to get the energy up, because we're all, sweating under the sun, much like these horses right now that are suffering in the heat. So one quote that I want to do is, Lynn Shulman, what's your excuse? You're enabling horse abuse.
Lynn Shulman, what's your excuse? You're enabling horse abuse. Lynn Shulman, what's your excuse? You're enabling horse abuse. Lynn Shulman, what's your excuse? You're enabling horse abuse.
Okay, good ending. So last but not least, we have Guardian Angels founder and mayoral candidate Curtis Sliwa. I have to give a disclaimer that Curtis speaking here today is in no way an endorsement of his election. We're very grateful for any mayoral candidates, any elected officials that want to speak out. Just want to make that clear, but we really appreciate Curtis speaking out on many different animal issues, including the abused horses. So,
I first want to thank my wife Nancy, who's up in the corner there, who's been involved in this issue long before I ever met her. And we live near Central Park, and she's constantly having me walk out and check on the conditions of these horses. They're out when it's hot, sweltering heat. Their faces are in the asphalt. These are not joyful times. These horses are being tortured. Anybody who looks at horses out on a farm, frolicking, they're social, and these horses, heads down, just standing there all day long. And then eventually when there's a ride, you see them limping, you see scars on them, you see disproportional fat in different places. It's a horror. And let me say this, it's been an issue that's been here a long, long time. I go back to the early 70s when I first started listening to talk radio. As you know, I've had a career 35 years in talk radio, but I started listening as a teenager. Barry Gray, one of the greatest, would every day mid-mornings on WOR and WMCA talk about the horrors of the horse carriage industry. That's how far back it goes. And we all remember the campaign in 2013 for mayor. I was sitting there with my radio partner at the time, Attorney Jeffrey Lichtman, who loved animals, and who was one of our guests. They were running Democrats, Republicans, Bill de Blasio. And he sat down and he said, on day one, you elect me mayor, I will sign an executive order that will do away with the horse-drawn carriage industry. We'll have electrified carriages to replacement. All the horse carriage riders will have jobs. And Jeffrey Lichtman was, oh, this is great. How do I donate to your campaign? And the next day they had breakfast, the only time in his life that Bill de Blasio was on time to catch the check, $2,100. And I said to Jeffrey, he can't do that. He's lying. Becomes mayor, and then all of a sudden he says to all these great people here, many of whom gave them their money, this thief, Bill de Blasio, you disgrace. And then you admit you can't do it, and did nothing in 8 years. Nothing in 8 years. So let's talk about the here and now. The councilman mentioned all the locations in the world that no longer have horse-drawn carriages. First world countries, third world countries, and I've been to some of them. How can we be proud of the fact that New York City, the epicenter of the world, continues to torture horses? Well, I'll tell you this. Even though I don't have your endorsement running for mayor, my wife Nancy established the first ever Protect Animals independent line that I'll be running on, in addition to the Republican line for mayor. I get elected mayor, there's an animal welfare division in the basement of City Hall. Not one person that exists now. It's like a placebo. We're gonna prioritize this. And I'm gonna go to all these city council people. And the milk of a city council person is discretionary funds. You want your discretionary funds? You support animal abuse? No money for you until we end the horse carriage industry. And then my friends, who are the conductors and the motormen and the token booth clerks and the maintenance workers and the track layers in the subways, they are members of TWU Local 100. They have no idea these horse carriage owners who are subcontracted are members of their union. I've yet to find one. I have conversation. Do you know that they're members of your union? I don't know. I've never seen them in our union meetings. There is money under the table to the TWU leadership. Why would they be representing horse carriage drivers when they're not even covered by the union? Ask yourself a question. I become mayor, the investigation begins. This industry will be closed. The men and women of the industry will have jobs with electrified carriages that exist in the rest of the world. And Bill de Blasio, wherever you are now, you are a disgrace. You led people to believe that you, through an executive order, could end this barbaric behavior. You lied to them, you took their money, and you did nothing in 8 years. We're going to end this. Bob Hogan, I salute you. I salute everybody, every Democrat and Republican. This is not a political issue. This is a humane, humanitarian issue. We call ourselves the leaders of the free world, and we torture horses. Enough of it. Thank you.